This meeting is called to order. I would like to point out a few house rules to assist commissioners, staff, and members of the public to successfully participate in this meeting. Commissioners, your microphone is live, so please keep your microphones on mute until you wish to speak. For tonight's meeting, we are using Zoom to host the Youth Commission regular meeting. At the bottom of the Zoom client, there are two icons, chat and raise hand. Please use chat only to report technical issues such as being unable to hear a commissioner speaking. Please use raise hand to be recognized by the commissioner and enable to speak to the commission. To comment under oral communication or any agenda item, you are allowed 3 minutes to speak per agenda item. Emails limited to 350 words can also be submitted to the city clerk and it will be read into the record. This word limit is set to adhere to the typical 3-minute time allowance. Only attendees using the Zoom application can use the raise hand option to comment. Participants calling in from a telephone will only be able to listen and cannot provide feedback or public comment. Lastly, because we are not all in the same room, all votes at this meeting will be taken by roll call. And I will call roll. Vardon Guy.
Here.
Avanya Costello. Not here. Jessica Guardino.
Here.
AJ Madala.
Here.
Kavya Narayan.
Here.
Arishi Saxena. Marcos Acero Blystrack.
Here.
McCoy Brewster. Paige Craig. Do not see her. Savannah Lynn. I did see Savannah.
Here.
Catherine Mekachek. I see her.
Here.
Sahil Varma.
Hi, I'm here. My computer's not working, so I'm joining with my brother.
Okay, so Rohan is with you as well?
I am, yes.
Okay, we have a quorum. Paige is not, I believe Paige is the chair and she's not in attendance. So orders of the day, is there any items that you'd like to move or change? Okay, hearing none. Written communications. I have not received any written communications from the public on any of the agenda items. And approval of the minutes. We have the minutes from February, from the January 12th meeting and the February 9th commission meeting.
Michelle, who is our vice chair?
Our vice chair.
Me and Rohan.
Okay.
Would you like to take over and chair the meeting on behalf of the Youth Commission?
All right, sure.
Are
Yeah, that would be great.
you up to the task?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
Excellent.
It's all you now. So we'll start with the minutes.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
Yep.
I approve.
Is there a second to that, or is that the second?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'll second Marcos. I second Marcos.
All right.
Okay. Roll call vote. Vardon.
Yeah, I approve.
Vanya's not there. Jessica.
Yeah, I approve.
AJ.
I approve.
Kavya.
I approve.
Marcos.
I originally approved.
Okay. So Savannah.
I approve.
Catherine.
I approve.
Sahil.
I approve.
And Rohan.
I approve.
That motion passes.
All right. I guess moving on to new business, which there's none of. Are we allowed to move on to unfinished business?
Yes.
All right, I guess where we leave off on the Social Justice Scholarship Award. I wasn't here last meeting, so if anyone was, please talk.
So McCoy is the head of that subcommittee. Is there anyone who's working on that who can give us an update? Oh, looks like Mayor Lawler has something for us in the chat.
Hi, yes, I just posted in the chat what Paige had sent to us prior to the last meeting. And I thought it would be good for you guys to read it and tweak it how you thought it should sound. And it should include, you guys should consider like when you want this to be due. Do you want it to be done in the spring, or do you want to maybe push this out to the fall in terms of granting a reward? It's up to you. But anyway, there it is.
So just a little background. I believe the last couple of meetings, we did not have quorums. Paige had submitted this item in January, I think. And this is essentially captures the essence of what the Youth Commission was wanting to do with this. I suggest that if you wanted to amend what Paige wrote, if there's any more ideas you'd like to add or subtract to it, then staff could take this document and then turn it into a formal application process and bring it back to the Youth Commission at the next meeting. It may be possible if we can do this in April, we can make an announcement in April and have it submitted to, I was speaking with my daughter who was a graduate of Los Gatos High School last year, about your age. And she said that the grant applications usually come out in the month of May. There's a liaison at the high school in Los Gatos. And you all may be familiar with that process. We might be able to get it to the high school by, sometime in April, make an announcement and start receiving applications back in May. When I say the high school, I'm thinking in terms of Los Gatos High School, which is what I'm familiar with, but we can try to get it over to Saratoga High School as well. And depending on whatever the commission thinks, we could try possibly Westmont High School as well. Maybe it's possible to get it done this year if we can get some good feedback tonight. And like I said, I can design a formal application, name, address, school, year of school, all those pertinent facts, your favorite charity of choice where you would like to donate the money should you be awarded the money. And then what Paige and what the committee had decides to do with what Paige had written here. There will be, it says in this paragraph, the award includes $2,000 to the organization of your choice. I was thinking more like $1,000 to $1,500. $2,000 is a little bit rich. It is taxpayer money, so we have to be a little cognizant of that. So AJ, if you want to
I
jump
think
on in and hold the group,
I guess
and begin the discussion.
one thing I was thinking is that it mentions that artwork is also being considered. So I guess I don't know if we settled this last time, but it might be kind of hard to like quantitatively judge like writing versus art in that way. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So that was a concept I believe that Paige put forth. Our clerk, Michelle Radcliffe, did say if you were going to submit a piece of artwork, I think this is in the staff report, that you'd have to include also 150 words about the artwork, why you chose to submit it and what it means. So kind of a shorter version of the 350 word essay, I guess. Is that correct, Michelle?
Yes, that's correct.
So if you wanted to include the artwork, we would say, don't just draw us a cartoon with crayons, really put forth something good, but also write along with that artwork as an alternative to perhaps writing a larger essay. 350 words isn't too much, is it? It's about 1 page, I think.
I think it's doable. Yeah.
So are we going to clarify in this paragraph that if you're going to do an artwork, you should also write I guess a 150 word caption to it, right?
So we had the description, and in January we had the question as well, and then I can paste that into the chat real quick. it basically includes all of that. So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Kate.
Yeah, I don't have any kind of comments to make in terms of things to fix. So I think we should just personally, I think we should go forward with this and see what we can do as soon as possible.
So should we make a motion to approve and send this over?
Yes.
So are you comfortable with the, an amount of, say, you want to start with $1,000 or $1,500?
I think we can start with $1,000 because it is taxpayer money and we do want to be considerate with that.
Okay, so that will be one change, and then you're comfortable with the 350 words as well as the artwork with 150 words?
I think we can all agree on that. Does anyone
Those will be
object?
the two alternative writings. Okay, and we can incorporate all that into, whoever makes the motion, incorporate those items in. And we'll see how we do. Is there anything else that the committee would like to discuss or add or subtract at this time?
I think in the first sentence, it might sound a little bit better if it says the Monte Sereno Youth Commission is giving all high schoolers the opportunity to give back, and then like continue on.
Excellent. We will make that change. And then, Michelle, Ms. Radcliffe, I should say, this is a public meeting,
Yes.
so I don't know if we have any people who are wishing to speak or not, but
No, we do not. Well, we don't. Dave, do you have any comments?
okay.
No.
Okay. So with the changes that Ms. Mekachek just mentioned and the other changes recommended by staff, is there any further changes that the Youth Commission would like to add to this? And then put in the form of an all-inclusive motion, and then we can move this one along.
Does somebody want to make a motion to,
Mr. Chair, AJ, you want to prompt him a little bit?
I guess
Keep the
is
meeting
there-
rolling along here.
is there a motion to move forward with this?
Yeah. I motion to move forward.
The
there a
recommended
second?
changes.
I second.
okay, motion and second. Roll call vote, Vardan, Guy,
I agree.
Vardan is not here. Jessica,
I agree.
AJ,
I agree.
Kavya,
I approve.
Marcos,
Yeah.
Savannah,
I approve.
Kate,
I approve.
Sahil,
I agree.
and Rohan.
I approve as well.
And that motion passes.
Good job on that.
Or I guess we should move on to the name the Quail contest, which I have no recollection of because I was not here last meeting. So if anyone could fill me in on that, that'd be great.
So, Mr. Chair, I will kind of put in a couple words on this one, if we don't mind. I did a little research on the Quail since the last time we spoke about this, which I think was in January. And I looked at some old newsletters that we have out in the garage. At one point in time in the newsletters, the Quail was referred to as Monte, M-O-N-T-E. However, I don't think the Quail was ever officially named Monte, and I don't think anybody knows that the Quail was ever, or remembers that the Quail ever could have been referred to as Monte. I think the person, whoever wrote the newsletters at the time, just kind of put that in there. So this is our opportunity to take the Quail on the logo and name the Quail something. And we're issuing the latest Monte Sereno citywide newsletter. And I was thinking about posting it in social media, but it's the Youth Commission's, mission to name the Quail. And we discussed that the name last time be, our only requirement be that the name is kind of gender neutral. So in other words, you could have a name like Alex or Gail. So the quail represents everyone. You know, we don't know if the quail is a boy or a girl, even though technically I think the image of the quail depicted on the symbol is that of a male quail, because of it has like a black face and the plume on the head and stuff, because the female quail looks a little bit different. I don't think that matters so much. I think the public will be happy if we come up with the gender neutral name that represents the whole public. So that's the background and discussion. Mr. Madala, take it away.
Well, I mean, I think this is pretty straightforward, but I guess I have a couple questions. So would it be us approving the name that we pick, or would it be the public having a vote on it in some way?
Originally, I thought that it would be fun if the youth commission, I think the mission was last time, go back and discuss it and come back with some name ideas. But I think what would be neat would be to engage the public. So it's kind of the youth commission's idea to push this out there in the public, and then direct staff to post on social media the Name That Quail contest. And then I think sometime before our city birthday, which is around May 14th, so we have a May 16th council meeting. Perhaps we can have the resolution prepared for the May 16th council. Just make sure that's the month.
I guess like when you were first talking about it, I kind of thought that this would be really fun for like the really young kids.
Yeah,
So
May 18th council meeting.
what was that?
The May 18th
Oh, okay.
council meeting is when we can officially name it. Which would be right after the 64th birthday, which is May 14th.
Sounds good. I think the very young kids would more appreciate this. So like using maybe Nextdoor to talk to parents would be a great way to spread the word.
Okay.
If we want to reach like a lot of the parents, what if we put out like a Nextdoor post or something where we can ask the parents to engage their kids or something, and even put their own opinions if they want? Because I know that people are pretty engaged and active on that community.
It's a great idea. Did you all get a chance to look at the staff report? Item number 2, if you click on it, I can read it to you real quick if you can't pull it up. Let's see. It says, for 64 years, the California quail has adorned the city seal of Monte Sereno, but what is the Monte Sereno quail's name? This question was posed to the Monte Sereno Youth Commission in January of 2021. The Youth Commission unanimously decided it was time to name that quail. In naming the quail, please explain, I put in 164 characters or less, why you selected your choice of name. Kind of like tweeting, right? Except not tweeting. Our only other parameter is we do not know if the Monte Sereno quail is a male or a female, so please select a gender neutral name. Please submit your choice of name to cityclerk@cityofmontesereno.org. The Monte Sereno City Council will pick the winning entry and officiate the naming of the quail at a future city council meeting. So if you would like, if the youth commission would like, if you're comfortable with that language, we could put that out on Nextdoor. We could put it out on Instagram, the Monte Sereno Instagram. You guys could go and spread it among your friends and family and your networks. What else do we have? We have the news feed, and we have the city newsletter, which will be printed and mailed out in early April. So the word will be out there in the community that this is what we're trying to do. And I hope the parents will see it online and they'll get their kids. Maybe we can add some language that says for kids of all ages or something to that.
Maybe if there's a way that like the winner could have their have some kind of honor, I guess, that doesn't require any actual money to be spent, I guess. That'd be kind of fun if we could brainstorm that. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward, and I think we could go forward with it.
I like that idea. We can invite the person who is chosen as the namer of the quail to the council meeting, and they can do a little presentation. This is why I chose to name the quail this name. Ultimately, the council, I think, how do we say this? We would get a number of submissions, I think. And so we would have to decide, I guess, among those submissions, Probably we have to set a deadline for, when is our last youth commission meeting?
The last meeting is May 11th.
May 11th. So if we're going to do this on the 18th, on May 11th, all the submissions that we would receive from all the residents and whoever else, the youth commission could pick the winner, right? We'll compile all the submissions and then you guys get to choose which one.
Okay, if we're going to do that, we would need submissions just so it's in time for posting at the latest May 5th.
Okay. So we'll have to put that message out in the public as well. Submit by May 5th.
Is there any other comments? I feel like it's pretty straightforward. We can go forward with it. But if anyone else has any comments, please speak up.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about the gender neutral thing, just because I feel like there's not many options to produce, and I'm like worried that we're gonna get like 20 different Alexes, or like other very common gender neutral names that we won't have many to pick from.
Yeah, I kind of agree in a way. Like, I think gender doesn't, names are, what even is the gender name in the first place, right? So it'd be kind of interesting if we could just do literally anything, but it's up to you guys.
We can eliminate that if the youth commission decides that's the path forward. I think for me, whenever I approach something, I always go to Google and I would Google gender neutral names. And I'm sure you would find 500 of them. Now the question becomes, how creative does the public get with that, right? So for instance, if you picked a name like Gail the Quail, right? That kind of rhymes. So, or you could pick some other name that uses alliteration or something. Or someone might choose a name that was a family member's name that they, really like, who lived in Monte Sereno. We don't know what we'll get back. Or it'll be an entirely new name that we've never heard of before, one that doesn't even exist now. So,
Well, and it's Michelle speaking. And I'm also thinking, just what do we name our dogs, our pets? Like, there's Patches, there's Skittles, there's, Oreo, that we don't really know what the gender is. It's just the name. So I think there are options besides the regular, Bob, Billy, Joe, Jennifer. As Mr. Leonardo says, public could be as creative as they can. So I think I agree, we probably shouldn't limit it, but there are other ways to find gender neutral names. Those are just my 2 cents.
I kind of agree with Miss Lawler's comment in the chat. Where, like, I mean, we can still pick a gender neutral name at the end, but it's like let's just like not even like put that in people's minds, I guess.
okay, so eliminate that. One thing I don't want it to be is something that is considered controversial. That was not the intent of this. The intent was kind of to have it be every person's quail, right? So for instance, if it had a boy's name, clearly a boy's name like Mac the Quail, well, that would be okay. It would be a mascot. But, there might be people who say, hey, I don't like the name Mac or something. I would rather have it be Jill the Quail, right? So I don't think it's ever going to really be thought of in depth, but I thought if somebody, as Ms. Radcliffe mentioned, named it, like you would name a pet name, like my pet rabbit, the name was Cuddles, and that name could have been a boy or a girl. So Cuddles the Quail. Anyway, discuss among yourselves. We're here to listen to you.
I think that we should keep the gender neutral name in, because I think that, like, Miss Lawler said in the chat, like, kids can come up with some really good names. And I think that, like, we don't even have to like say like, oh, it has to be gender neutral. We can just kind of maybe say like, oh, sorry, that's my dog. But that like, oh, it would be preferred to have a gender neutral name, you know, just so that way it's the Quail for everyone. And like, we can like say that in the post. So that way I feel like if we have our reasoning behind it, I think more people will be, I think more people will want to kind of have a name that's more gender neutral. And I think that might be good. And we can say like, if you guys like can't figure out a gender neutral name, like that's totally okay. But we just prefer one, you know? And then maybe like that will make people think of more gender neutral names than not. So it's not limiting, but it's just suggesting.
Kate, what is your dog's name?
So her name's Charlemagne, which is actually used to be a French king, but she's a girl, so she kind of has a gender neutral name, but not really.
I only asked that because they barked. Okay.
I don't know. I feel like if there's any potential for controversy, it might be like bringing up like gender politics, I guess. I mean, like this is not really like a politically charged issue, but just I mean, it's a name for a quail, so I think like whatever we'll pick if we're really worried, we can like pick a gender neutral name after we get submissions, but like I don't want it to like cloud people's judgment while they're thinking. I don't know, but I want to hear from everyone. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like I'm just worried when I think of gender neutral name, I think of like a person's name. So not like a mascot's name or a pet's name. So that's just the only issue. I don't want to limit the possibilities we'll have.
So one thing that we can do is we can say, so please select a gender neutral comma or pet name. Something like that.
That works as well, yeah.
Or what Marcos just said. Marcos, what was the other part of what you just said? You said
Like a mascot name.
a mascot name, yes. So we can add that verbiage.
I guess is there a motion to add that verbiage and go forward with the naming the quail?
There is if you make one.
All right, I guess I motion to go forward and add the verbiage. Is there a second?
I would like to second that motion.
I'll third it.
Okay, roll call vote. Vardan,
I approve.
what is up there? Jessica,
I approve.
okay, got it. AJ,
I approve.
Kavya,
I approve.
Marcos,
I approve.
Savannah,
I approve.
Kate,
I approve.
Sahil,
I approve.
and Rohan.
I approve.
And that motion passes.
All right, I guess we can move on to the discussion on potential activities to celebrate our 64th birthday. I also was not here when this was brought up, so if there's anyone who was, I would love to hear what you guys said.
I'll provide a little background for you all who were not here. As a matter of fact, I don't know if we had a meeting the night that this item came up because we may have had a lack of a quorum. But because you didn't have enough work to do with these other items, we thought we'd pile on a couple more. Monte Sereno is turning 64 years old this year. So I thought it would be fun to take the lyrics to the song When I'm 64 by the Beatles and try to have your parents sing a couple lines and then we all splice it together and make like a Zoom video. I don't know if that's possible, or we could just have them film themselves with iPhones and then you could just send me all the little clips and I could try to splice it together and we'll make like a little film and post it online somewhere. that could be fun. Or we can do something as an alternative, because it's the 64th birthday of Monte Sereno. Last year, the ice cream social was canceled, and I know that you host that in May. I'm not sure where we will be with the shelter in place order, but if the youth commission wanted to do kind of an online, we can sort of plan for an online ice cream social, invite your friends, invite your parents, invite residents, everybody kind of just gets on a Zoom call and just we talk and eat ice cream and do something like that. And then you can all sing When I'm 64. We'll play the music. I don't know.
I think it actually might be more fun if the city councilors were the ones singing.
Well, most certainly we will put them on the spot as well. They will absolutely be expected. It's their generation, so they better know all the words. Right, Councilmember Lawler?
Yeah, I might have to dub my voice in.
We can
But yeah.
we can auto tune them.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so would it be like a pre-record video, or would we do it live?
So just a couple options. First of all, this was just an idea that was floated because you only turn 64 once. And I thought the era that we live in with all this Zoom that we've been doing for a year, we're finally getting to the point where we're getting pretty good at it, actually. So I thought, I've seen these things online and out and, on television, like when they do the Grammys or they do these jam sessions or these concerts and they all kind of, one musician's playing here, another one's playing here, and they all do it at the same time. I don't know if we can get that technical, but I thought maybe it'd be fun if, everybody could just, maybe everybody can just learn the whole song and we just play the music and everybody gets online and tries to sing it. Or some people sing a couple bars and we piece it all together. And or forget about the song, just do like an ice cream social thing. An online ice cream social. We could plan for that. And if they lift the shelter in place, then we could just put the ice cream out in the parking lot like we used to. And that would be in May.
So I guess we could create like a best case plan and a worst case plan.
It depends on how daring you guys are and how technically you are. For me, I could sing a few bars. I'm not going to be one who's very good at splicing video together or orchestrating a Zoom call. But between Michelle and I think we could figure it out. But it would be fun if we had about 25 people. If we had all the youth commissioners, all the city council members, and some, like 10 residents or something.
Well, why don't we
Including your parents.
Well,
That would be fun.
a suggestion, if we need about 25, we have the youth commission, the council, and city staff. I think that could.
Well, I think that's great. We can include city staff members, and we can also include, whoever wants to jump in. We can make the announcement online. We just got to find people who are willing to ham it up a little bit. Does everybody know what ham it up means?
And if I can
It's a
add,
TikTok video.
yeah. My oldest son is a graphic designer, videographer. So he did all of my younger son's volleyball recruiting videos. So he's very good at splicing. I'm assuming you guys can do it, but if you need help, he can certainly throw it all together for us.
So if we did like one live Zoom call, and I could talk to the IT person about this, that could be one idea. Or everybody just sings a couple bars and on their iPhone, and then we can play background music, and then we can edit all those little iPhone pieces together. If everyone sings just like a verse, right? And it would be really cool to have young kids do it too, because whenever you have kids like, say, elementary school kids do something, it's always very cute.
So we could also, I guess, put it like a next door notice to people in the community who want to like send their own verses. Like we probably get a lot of interesting videos, and it would kind of represent the community more, I guess.
Absolutely.
That might be more effort, but it'd be interesting.
No, I think that's kind of the spirit of it. We wanted to include everybody. That would be really special. It's a snapshot in time. it's representative of what we've all kind of been through in the last year with all this crazy pandemic and lockdown and Zoom and all that stuff. And it's our 64th birthday. And the song When I'm 64 by the Beatles, I'm sure you can all get it on your Spotify or whatever and listen to it. It's very, if you haven't heard it, it's very like a march. It's very sing-songy. It's a song you hear it once, you kind of get it down, and it kind of gets stuck in your head a little bit. It's an old-timey song, but it's fun. It's good, clean fun. Dead air, silence. I'll keep talking.
Is there, does anyone else have any suggestions? If not, this sounds like a good plan, but I just want to make sure that no one has any other ideas.
Does anybody play an instrument in this group here? What do you play, Mr. Madala?
I play bass.
You play bass, okay. Because When I'm 64 has a pretty good bass line. It's got what you call a walking bass line. Marcos.
No, I play the piano.
You play piano. That's perfect. If you guys can play this tune, you guys can play this tune. You can be the background. Does anybody play like a trumpet or a trombone?
I play trombone.
Trombone, there we go. We're putting the band together here. What about clarinet? Can anybody play a clarinet? There's a lot of clarinet in this tune. All right. Well, I think we'll have to get by with a piano, a trombone, and a bass. What do you think? And we can play the music track. We'll try to get the karaoke version, and you guys can kind of just play on top of it or something.
So,
or you can just play your verse. Like for instance, Kavya, you can just play, the melody on the trumpet. Like we'll have people sing, and we'll cut to you playing the trumpet, right? That would be cool. Or we'll cut to Marcos or AJ.
in my jazz band we've been playing and trying to play songs over Zoom by recording or on our own and linking it up to a click track and post, and it's pretty hard stuff. So I'd be willing to do it if we have the time, but I'm sure a lot of us are pretty busy. So I just wanted to make sure we have something that's we can do easily, and that's also fun for the community.
And that's a very good point, because we've given you some projects this year, and this is something that just kind of popped into my brain. So stop me while I'm ahead if it's too much.
If I could make here's just a thought. If each of you just filmed yourself singing the song and then sent it to us or just to Mr. Leonardis, and then we could have each line clipped into a video. So, one person, the first line would be one person, then it would be the next line would be the next person, and so on and so forth. If that's what you were thinking, and we could get the council members to do it and all the staff. And like I said, if I know that editing takes a lot of work, but I do have an insider that can help out.
That's wonderful, Councilmember Lawler. That's really good. I was thinking, let's just say you were walking through downtown Los Gatos or somewhere in Monte Sereno, walking through the neighborhood, and you just kind of held up your iPhone and kind of filmed yourself singing a couple bars, or you filmed yourself playing a little bit of piano, right? We can edit it all together. And if we sound really bad, we'll fix it. We'll auto-tune it. We'll make it so.
Is this something we should
I'm just
probably
kidding
finalize?
about that part. We want it to sound like the community put it together, so that makes it precious. What was that?
Is this something that we should probably finalize as soon as possible, or do you think we would have time to discuss more in April?
I think that if you guys go away this time, we could continue this discussion in April, and we could probably put it together between the April meeting and the May meeting. You know, I don't want it to be, you can start thinking about it now, listening to the song, get it stuck in your head, ask your parents if they sing a few verses, just film them in the kitchen, you know, make sure they're decent and all that stuff. We don't want it to be, we don't want your parents to call us up and get mad. We don't want to, you know.
I think also like in April we will know more if we can do things in person because
Yes.
if we can do then of course we could like have the ice cream social as usual, and maybe we could have the actual song being played by being like played on a speaker or something. That'd
That's,
also be pretty fun. So I guess I motion to continue this discussion on next meeting.
I second that.
Okay, roll call vote. Vardan,
Approve.
Jessica, AJ,
Approve.
Kavya,
Approve.
Marcos,
I approve.
Savannah,
Approve.
Kate,
I approve.
Sahil,
I approve.
and Rohan.
I approve as well.
That motion passes.
All right, I guess we can move on to our final piece of unfinished business, which is the Youth Commission Book Fair. I also was not here last time, so if I could get some background, that'd be great.
well, thank you, Mr. Madala. We floated this idea out there prior to the Quail idea and prior to the When I'm 64 idea, so forgive us for stacking up your list here with all this stuff. We're thinking that this could be quite simple, primarily just an announcement that we create and again post on Nextdoor, on our newsfeed, on our social media sources, requesting from the community that if they had extra books, maybe old vinyl records or CDs or videos or those types of things, whatever medium that they don't want anymore, we could put it out on our put a table out behind City Hall, like what we did with the coat drive in November and December, and just have the public bring their items and put them on the table. And then we collect the items. And then once we, have a good amount of those items, we'll just have a start date and an end date. Say we start like March 31st through April 30th or something. We're collecting items. Then we'll take those items to the Saratoga Library. They have a used bookstore, or we could take them or split them up and take some of them to Saratoga and some of them to the Los Gatos Friends of the Library bookstore and donate them, and they can sell them and make, money for their nonprofit. And that was the idea. It helps people do what's called spring cleaning out all their old stuff. And it also helps the charities. And it's relatively easy to implement because we just put a table out back and we send an announcement. It's kind of like no touch. We're not going to go knocking on the people's doors asking for books or anything too fancy.
I think for some reason when I first saw the name, I thought it would be something like people like post like a picture of like their favorite book or something, and that could be like a community thing. But I think this is also a pretty interesting idea. I just how would we make sure that like all like the books stay in good condition while like being outside, I guess?
Well, we put the table, under the overhang and out by where our free little library is there. And if somebody brings a box of books, puts it on the table, I'll take it, put it inside so it doesn't get wet, damaged, and all that stuff. But I like what you were going there on, because that's the beauty of the Youth Commission. You have great ideas. We come up with ideas, and then you have your own ideas. So you mentioned something about someone likes a book and they post it online. That sounds like more of an online book club kind of thing.
It's like I think maybe it could be like that those two things in conjunction, or we could just pick one. Either both ideas are good to me. Does anyone have thoughts on the either of those ideas?
Silence is not golden.
Well, I get. So we would have to do this pretty soon, I guess, or would we have time to discuss later?
This one, we can also discuss it at the next meeting. I mean, this can be something that it can even be discussed if we have a meeting in May. And we can collect books, you know, in the month of June or July or whatever. Usually people's focus is on vacations and stuff, but who knows where we'll be with shelter in place. But it's kind of something that if you wanted to use the term spring cleaning in your advertisements for approaching spring. So I thought that would be a good angle in order for people to say, hey, yeah, I do want to get rid of some of this stuff that's been in my garage, these old books and these old record albums or whatever they have. Kids' books, kind of like in the wintertime when we said Christmas is coming or the holidays are coming and you're going to be getting new coats and things. So all your old coats that you don't want, bring them to us. Similar concept, different season. We actually collected about 21 coats, I think it was, last winter. So that was pretty cool.
All right. Does anyone have any last minute comments to make about this? If not, I think probably be better to kind of wait, but anything works.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should wait. Just like Mariella said in the chat. Oh, so she's saying later in the year, perhaps, not even till like next month. Okay. Do you have anything to add on that, Mariella?
Or I guess if we can't do that, then that's the book club idea that I kind of just came up with now. That could be like a backup, I guess. Just having people on Nextdoor take a picture of their favorite book and then maybe saying some words about it. That could happen pretty easily.
Yeah, even if that's like like an intermediary, right? We can run that until we decide to run the book fair later in the year once we have the tables and at City Hall and stuff. I like that idea.
Should we like draw up a kind of post description, or what should we do from here, I guess?
So what I think would be a good idea, kind of continue the discussion until next meeting, and we can say online book club and or book drive, and then go out there and think about it in between now and next meeting and come back next meeting. We'll just continue the discussion.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, so just by consensus, I could say that the commission is going to continue the discussion at the next meeting.
That sounds good. I don't think there needs to be a motion.
I agree. Okay.
Everybody's okay with that? Sounds like it.
All right, I guess can we motion to adjourn the meeting now?
So now we have something called committee commission reports. So any of the subcommittees want to report? I know at the beginning of the year, there was discussion of a subcommittee that was going to help kids find tutors or something like that. I don't know if there's anybody who wants to report on that subject or not, or anything else. Commissioner comments? Anybody has anything they want to share about anything? Your experiences living in Monte Sereno, your experiences with school, are you all still doing online learning? How's that going for you? Other than that?
Oh, I was going to say that I know it was maybe like, I think I was going to bring it up on the February meeting, but since we didn't have a quorum, we didn't have a meeting. But I know my dad had met with the chief of police. So he met with the chief of police recently, maybe in like February-ish. And he was saying how the chief of police would, before we were virtual with Andrea, we did a couple of like presentations, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know if any of you guys remember, but like we had some people like come in and kind of give talks, and he said that he would be more than happy to do one of those when we're all back in person. So yeah.
Okay, so in other words, invite the chief of police to the meeting once we go live again, if we go live this year. We could probably invite him on Zoom if you'd like.
That could work too, yeah.
Okay. We'll see if we can get him lined up for April or May. Commission liaison / staff comments. I just want to thank you all for having a quorum tonight. I felt this was a really good meeting. Really good dialogue. We're working. So thank you all. Encourage the other members who didn't make it tonight to make it next time. And staff has a lot of work to do on with you to get these things going along. So we'll keep the good times rolling. Anybody else? Michelle? Ms. Lawler?
I was just going to say, great ideas, you guys. It's always fun to be a part of these meetings, and I love your creativity and looking forward to the next meeting.
Actually, this is Michelle. I run the city's Instagram account, and we have council members and staff send me pictures of them wearing their masks. So if you'd like, if you want to participate in being shown on our Instagram wearing your mask and promoting mask wearing and all that good stuff, you can send me an email with your mask selfie. I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
Sounds good. I guess if there's no other comments, we can adjourn the meeting.
All right, good job, everybody, and good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Guys,
Thank you.